coffee table. That's the special one. Go get the ottoman, grab a drink. Let's dive into it.
Nice, nice, nice. So a little bit of a freestyle show today. I know we didn't do a whole lot to put this one together, but those are usually our best shows. So, um, a couple things we want to talk about. So I do want to get into the Coinbase scammer thing. I was actually affected by this.
You were? Oh,
Yep,
man.
yep.
Okay.
Everything's good. Didn't nothing bad happen, but like I did actually have to call Coinbase and say what the heck's going on here. Also, want to touch base real quick on a few other things here. Epic City, for those of you who don't know, a few communities here in the North Texas area that are kind of getting a little bit. They're setting up Islamic enclaves, essentially what it is. But we'll touch base on that as well. Jody did have a little AI fun for us set up. Definitely looking forward to that. Is there anything else you guys want to touch base on while for tonight's show? Jamie?
Yeah, I'll give a quick update on the XRP SEC case as well.
Oh yeah,
May 15th was a big day for crypto with Coinbase and XRP and the SEC case. So I'll give a quick update on that too.
okay, perfect. Well, why don't since we do have the Coinbase, let's just get the crypto. Let's let it lead off today. We don't ever let crypto lead off.
Crypto corner.
So, yeah, let's do the crypto corner right
Crypto
up front
corner. All right.
I need a spinning.
You gave us a little preview. Yeah, exactly. You gave us a little preview, Robbie, on Coinbase. So May 15th, what ended up happening was, and May 15th is when we found out about it, but Coinbase offshores a lot of their customer support, and they've got an operating hub in India. And apparently some scammers were able to bribe some customer support agents from Coinbase into divulging as much customer data as they could get. So Coinbase does have some limitations in terms of what data and how much data customer support agents can get access to. But it was a data access breach through social engineering that revealed approximately 1% of customer data from Coinbase. And that data included, of course, names, addresses, which I'll get back to in just a minute, phone numbers, email addresses, last four of the social, masked bank account numbers, and some banking identifiers, government issued IDs, because you have to do, know your customer, so you put a picture of your driver's license or your passport in there. Limited internal corporate data, and they say importantly, no passwords, private keys, or direct access to funds were compromised. Here's the problem. They also got account balance snapshots. So now they have your address, your phone number, and your account balance. So the concern is, I mean, they can sell this data on the market, right? And if nefarious criminals are willing to put the level of effort in, they can literally, they know where you live. And if you've got a big enough balance, it may be worth them
You might have some house guests.
and visiting. So, just be ready if you were affected by this breach. So
Excellent.
yeah, right. Now, hopefully they're not stupid enough to go to somebody who lives in Texas or Florida,
right.
knowing that people are armed. But the interesting thing is the attackers demanded a $20 million ransom from Coinbase to prevent the release of stolen data. Coinbase flipped that around and said, "F you, we are going to establish a $20 million reward to find the people who did it, which I actually like that movie.
Yeah.
The problem is, when you talk about data breaches, man, governments are not playing around anymore, and there's going to be a lot of digging into what they should have been doing to prevent this, what more they should have been doing to prevent this, and the DOJ has already initiated an investigation. So although I like what Coinbase is doing, they're saying they're actually going to reimburse customers if they were impacted by any social engineering attacks where somebody reached out and pretended like they were Coinbase and got them to transfer their funds or got their keys or whatever. So they're going to reimburse customers who are affected by that. It's estimated it's going to cost them up to $400 million to fix this. But I think they're going to have more issues relative to DOJ, and I don't know if any customers. I don't know if they have any customers in Europe, and Europe doesn't play around with data breaches either, so it could get pretty ugly for Coinbase. They said, oh, by the way, we're going to open up a new U.S.-based support hub too. So, for what it's worth, I don't.
That'll be nice.
Yeah,
exactly.
When you're handling like customer data like that, you can't be offshore and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, especially the third world countries where it doesn't take much money to get that information. So in my instance, what happened was they called the scammers called anyway, and let's see if I can read you the voicemail they left me. I was in the middle of working. It was on Saturday. Just simply said that there was a request for me to move all my crypto, and it came out of Seattle, Washington.
Yeah.
For me to get give my PIN or whatever it was to. And I'm like, this is kind of weird. And they called me like back to back to back, like 3 times. So finally I called Coinbase. I said, what's going on here? Obviously they called me from a different number back. And they said, what number is it? They said, we never do that. So did you give them anything? I said, I didn't give them anything. I'm just trying to figure out what the heck's going on. Said, okay, yeah, just never give out your information. They have a really specific way that you communicate with Coinbase, and it's like there's a lot of you have to go through the app, you got to go this side and that way, and then they call you back from a secure phone, and they even tell you the phone number they're going to be calling you back from and all that stuff. So it's very, very specific. So I mean, in the event that somebody is dealing with this or going to deal with this over the next week or so, it's just get in touch with Coinbase from their specific way.
Contact them directly via the website or the app. And look, I get text messages from Coinbase all the time saying, hey, there's suspicious activity, click here, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, for any of our listeners who are into crypto, do not respond to those. These attacks, these social engineering attacks, would be very creative, but they're getting good. So if you have any question, you reach out directly to Coinbase, or you go log directly into your app. Do not click on any links. Don't answer any phone calls. They're not going to. Real customer support agents from Coinbase don't need your PIN. They don't need your password. They don't need any of that information. So don't fall for it, please.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you know what? Because, I mean, yes, they are getting sophisticated, but at the same time, it's pretty obvious. Like, it's pretty obvious. It's like, hey, somebody's tried to access your account. It's like, okay, so what? I think I got $15 in there. Like, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
Well, you're not a high roller. You're not a high roller like Robbie, so they didn't bother reaching out.
That's why they didn't reach out to me. Huh.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I've actually had something similar happen with AT&T not too long ago, where they said, "Hey, here's the PIN you requested." I'm like, "The PIN I requested." So I called AT&T back through my, through the phone number and they're like, yeah, you didn't give me anything, did you? I'm like, no, I didn't give him anything. I'm not stupid,
Well, they asked
but
that question for a reason, Rob.
Because, I mean, you took the time to call them, so they're like, wait a second.
Wait, are you Are you scamming me right now? I mean, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah, they told me I need all your customer data.
Well, if somebody got my information, somebody knows I'm with AT&T, which I guess that's a 1 in 4 chance that they'll get you on that for the most part.
I get the Verizon ones.
Remember they did it? Jeannie was on the news for it.
Yeah.
For AT&T.
Yep.
They did a whole segment on her. Because somebody, what did they, in the Dominican Republic, like, just cleaned out her account.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Happened, we're just probably like 10 years ago now, though.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
They had a big data breach with AT&T, and Janie was a part of that.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah, I don't pay for identity monitoring or credit monitoring, anything like that now, because my data gets breached every year, so I just keep getting the free monitoring service from all the companies.
Yeah. What's the point of paying for it when you know you're going to get it free from somebody?
That's funny. Well, so what's going on with the XRP trial? I know there's some stuff that came out that a judge said that they're not going to get a discount on the fines or something like that.
Yeah, look, this came out. This ruling came out on May 15th as well, and there are a lot of people on the interwebs that are freaking out, saying, "Oh my gosh, Ripple's not going to get out of the case.
It's the end of the world."
Yeah, exactly.
It was just a procedural. It's all
there you
procedural.
Take it.
Sorry,
take it,
go ahead,
Jody.
Zach.
Preach, brother. Go ahead. Seriously. No. It's all right.
Yeah, so essentially it's all procedural. The judge said the appeal's already gone through. They can't do anything about it. So it's just going to go to the new judge. And the new judge is going to look at it and probably go with the deal that they already have hashed out. I think it's freaking, I think it's so silly. Like, both sides have called it off, and the judge is, just has the power to keep them hanging on? That's ridiculous.
That's
Do you know
just
how much money
waste
that's
of time.
costing Ripple? Do you know how much money that's costing the taxpayer? Because they still have to do stuff for this case. It's not like they just stopped billing the case, right, Zach?
No,
they're billing
yeah,
hours.
Absolutely.
So it's a cash cow for the lawyers.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
The judicial system.
And so my perspective, and I don't know if you guys ever listen to John Deaton, but a lot of the attorneys who know more about this stuff than I'll ever know, actually have a perspective that Judge Torres this is a little bit of a bitch slap to the SEC to say, look, you guys just wasted 5 years of taxpayer money and Ripple's time and my time, and you submitted this. You're right, Jamie. It didn't comply with the Rule 60 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. So they were trying to. The description was SEC tried to file this the easy way, and Judge Torres is like, no, you have to go through the process. Based on this particular case, so it's going to end up being like a 25-page document. I think ultimately that it's all going to go through the way the SEC and Ripple has negotiated it. But to Jamie's point, so now more attorneys' fees, more time. Judge Torres and her magistrate and all these other resources are still going to be burned through. So it seems like it was she had the discretion to go ahead and approve it the way it was submitted, but she said no. And it does seem like it's just a waste of time and money to me.
And especially when this is a brand new SEC. Like,
exactly.
this is not even for the first Trump term. This is a completely different top-down SEC. Well, they're still probably firing people, but from at least the top perspective, it's a different SEC. So what is Torres like? Who is she actually punishing?
Yeah,
at that point.
I'm totally with you on that.
Yeah.
Us.
So I don't know. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, us. Yeah. But so the people who are freaking out about it, though, my advice to you is just sit tight. Nothing's ultimately gonna change in terms of Ripple status or XRP status. Judge Torres ruled that XRP is not secured, so quit freaking out about it. You're still gonna take part in this bull run. Let's get the freaking bull run going.
Right.
Tired of waiting.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you looked at the yields? Like the 10-year yields or the 2-year yields? And
it's getting ugly.
Yeah. And especially the Japanese. I think I was looking at a chart of the Japanese 10-year, and that's kind of like the canary in the coal mine.
Yeah.
And yeah, so those are getting up pretty good. I want to say the 10 years over 5 or about to be over 5.
Yeah, I thought it was almost a 6. Maybe I'm wrong on that though. But yeah, it's definitely over 5. Look, I think we still have a window because liquidity is
4.5.
Has 4.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Liquidity has shot up, and risk assets follow suit. There's just typically a bit of a lag. So I think we're still in that window where in the next 60, 90 days we'll see a nice floor off top. But it's been a long wait. Ready.
It's all right. It'll pay off.
Yep.
It'll pay off.
Yep.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of things that probably should settle down prior. So hopefully the Russia-Ukraine war.
Yep.
There will be some new companies that get selected to rebuild Ukraine, build back better for those communists over there. So.
Well, and shocking news, the tariff situation is actually being worked through. I mean, I thought the world was coming to an end, but
Yeah.
It's actually kind of going the way he planned it to go, to a certain extent.
Yeah, I think in some cases yes, some cases no. But you can't. I mean, what are you going to do? Predict a bunch of countries like response? You can probably guess like the third world countries' response, but as far as the near peer powers, that's always. I mean, because when you're talking about China, they'll kill 1 million of their people just to be stubborn.
Yeah, but we at least got we at least got the pause. We're back down to 10% on our goods going in there, 30% on their goods coming in. So that buys us a little time to work through the details. So I think we're making progress there. I'm bullish on that.
I think so. I think so too.
When we, when everything gets going, it's going to be epic. Speaking of epic, Robbie, you were talking about Epic City.
Now that, my guy, is a transition.
That's what we call a sedgeway.
Yep.
A sedgeway. So Epic City.
I call it the Bruce to Caitlin transition.
So Epic City is a community that a mosque in Plano, Texas, is trying to put into place. That they're what's kind of going on is that they're only allowing like Muslims to move in. It's like a master community that's centered around a mosque. They're going to have their own schools. They're going to have their own pretty much everything. Now, the planners are all saying that, it's not just restricted to Muslim only. Well, the funny thing is, it's already sold out, and there is not one non-Muslim that has purchased or whatever, land or home or an apartment or whatever it is that's there. Another concern is that their emphasis is going to be on Sharia law in this community.
Is that what they said?
That's what the like the goal was supposed to be. Like they were gonna kind of have like their own little, they wanted to make it its own city. It's in Josephine, Texas. They want to make its own city so they don't have any outside influence.
Okay. Sounds like a pretty sick idea. I wish we could do something like that.
Right, and get away with it.
Well, yeah. You do. Yeah, freedom of association is freedom from association, I guess.
So they're digging into some of the stuff that's actually in Plano, and they're realizing that they built this neighborhood right on top of the Plano Police Department SWAT team.
Yeah,
and
I know exactly what neighborhood you're talking about.
Yep, and then they look over, like the houses all look over into the SWAT complex right there in Plano, and then they started looking for permits and built, like even for the mosque. There's no permits for the houses, no permits for the mosque. Did
they bulldoze it?
They have not at this point in time.
I don't know.
So
these Muslims are really sounding libertarian to me.
We don't need no stinking building permits.
Yeah, man. Right on, brothers. All right.
So I guess the concern is that they've actually bought different plots around Dallas for these different communities, and they're just trying to do things their way. Like they've already been in trouble with the city of Plano for how they do their funerals. I guess their funerals don't meet the guidelines of state and city ordinances. I'm not really sure. I've never been to a Muslim funeral, so I don't know what goes on there that is different than say any other funeral.
I would say it's very much in line with like a redneck funeral. Lots of rounds being shot into the air, that kind of stuff.
I don't think they're overly concerned with that. I mean, the golf course right behind that might be a little concerned, but
it'll be
oh yeah,
it'll be
yeah, that place. Yeah, they can't be shooting guns off there.
Yeah, I think the bigger concern is like kind of how all this stuff happened, and nobody said anything until just now. Like now that it's on the national stage, it's on the state level stage. Governor Abbott's halted anything moving forward for now, just simply because there's a lot of stuff that doesn't add up here, and I mean it just and I don't know. There's just something that doesn't feel right about the whole thing anyway. Jamie, I know you're, kind of looking at this going, good for them, like, getting around.
I mean, honestly, there's some discussions you have to have if you're not okay with this, but you'd be okay with, like, a Jewish community doing this.
Because that's never happened.
Or, I mean, honestly, I'd take the whole Muslim thing off, throw in, a Christian community. I'd be buying land outside that place to go live with people that shared my values.
I mean, and to a certain extent, that makes some sense. And I know that the Muslims get a bad rap for extremism. And I think that's a lot of people's concern is the extreme portion of it.
Why do we have Islamic extremism? Is probably a good conversation to have if that's what you're worried about. You should ask that question before you we move on from there? That's the real question.
I mean,
just because they hate our freedoms?
Well, what do you think? I mean, honestly,
it's Middle East meddling, allowing things to happen in the Middle East. U.S. foreign policy.
So you think if we had left them alone, they would not be here? Yes. They'd be over there and they'd be happy?
Yes. That's exactly what Osama bin Laden said in his letter.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I still think they'd be over here. I mean...
I don't. There was not that big of an inflection until after we started blowing up brown countries.
Brown by dirt, right? Not by skin
yes.
color?
Yeah. No, meaning desert. Come on.
Get your mind out of the desert, people.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, we would not have this issue. There would not be this issue.
So let me ask you this.
And they probably using the same like background is, we have all this displaced people, and the U.S. government allowed the visas to bring them in.
Well, to a certain extent.
What do you mean? Have you looked up the H1? Is it the H1B visa thing that was real hot lately? Got in trouble with it.
I do know that we did have some come across the border illegally during some of the last 4 years.
This is not illegals.
Not the same thing.
I mean,
not illegals. These are citizens or probably people with visas, or you could have some outside money coming in and buying the property.
And that's probably what's happening is
so maybe somebody but that would be the thing to look into for sure. Because I don't.
And I think that is part of what. So like, the actual mosque in Plano.
Yeah.
They traced most of the funding overseas.
Yeah, I actually met a guy last week that is looking into like shell companies and stuff like that. Like that's his job. To see if there's like foreign countries owning. So, I thought that was really cool. It's probably a very boring job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine that be like anything near fun. Like it's not like The Accountant, the movie.
No, not at all.
So one more thing before we move forward from this, Jamie, do you think that it is okay for a community like this to put itself together and not make it open to everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it, and especially if there's foreign state money involved, or, I don't know, maybe a foreign investor, something like that. No, I don't think so. I think if you want to buy 5,000 acres and you want to start your own town, you're more than why not?
Okay.
And you should be able to control who comes and lives on your 5,000 acres.
Okay.
And because it's your town, it's a private community.
No, I will tell you that
if people want to buy into it, yes. And with that comes security guarantees, fire department, blah blah blah. It's just a fully privatized community. Brought to you by Costco.
So I will tell you this, that some of the major concerns are obviously like the Sharia law, the outside money that's coming in for this, and the concern about like people getting around what everybody else is having to do, like permits and stuff like that. Like that somebody's obviously getting paid off.
Yeah, you still, even if you had your own 5,000 acre city, if it's within the county, you still have to get county permits, right?
Right.
So in that case, then you buy a whole county. Then you're in the clear.
Yeah. All right. Jody, you had something. Speaking of in the clear,
I'd go there and get shawarma though, for sure.
Oh yeah.
10 out of 10. Would
I
eat
can
there.
imagine their markets would be on point, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of not in the clear, Jody, you have a little exercise you ran with our good friend ChatGPT.
All right, so essentially, I had heard on one of my other podcasts I listen to on a regular basis. They did a different tweak to it, but essentially, you can ask GPT, not LGBT, to QAIRP plus.
AARP.
But you can get it to roast you. And so I was like, hey, this is going to be fun. Let me go through. You submit a picture of the person that you wanted to roast, and then you give it some minute details, and it concocts this whole story.
Oh, God.
So I've done one for each of us.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Like I said, not in the clear.
So I figure the first one that is on my there it is. Yeah.
Oh, did mine get deleted?
Nope. I thought it did for a second.
It was mine.
So the first one on my list was Zach.
Of course, got to start with Z.
Start with Z.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Should I brace myself?
It's actually really funny. I laughed at my own. And I put in some pretty gnarly stuff.
But
on
you've
my
got
own.
a very dark, twisted sense of humor.
Maybe a little.
It told me I should kill myself. ChatGPT.
Well, and the funny thing is, it hits middle of the road. And with the guys that I was listening to on the podcast, like, you can make it a little bit darker or a little bit lighter or softer. And I kept it middle of the road. So the picture that I submitted for you, Zach, was from our golf outing that day. So you're dressed in your golf attire. So that's that's your. And I'm not going to tell you the inputs I put in. Okay.
Oh my God.
So, ChatGPT, AARP said, let's cook this financial wizard like he's forecasting a market crash at a backyard barbecue. This man looks like he gives full PowerPoint presentations before buying a new grill. Now, if you'll look at slide 7, you'll see the ROI on this smoker is literally delicious. Bald by choice?
That's not too far off. Not too far off.
Bald by choice or by nature? Either way, he's got a dome of a man who's seen too many spreadsheets and not enough sunscreen. That head shines so bright, it's probably depreciating his BMW's resale value just by reflecting onto the paint. Father of 4, married twice, this dude doesn't believe in recessions, just emotional resets and alimony payments. He probably itemizes his kids. He probably itemizes his kids like tax deductions and names his fantasy football team like diversified assets. That golf outfit says I play for leisure, but the grip on the putter says I'm about to explain compound interest while you're mid swing.
You know, I actually wouldn't mind that if Zach, you would maybe do that the next time we
All right.
Still
we
don't
can do
get
that.
it.
And then it says BMW guy, huh? Because nothing screams I overanalyze every decision like driving a car with 6,000 buttons and 0 cup holders.
Hey, my car has cup holders now.
Oh, man. They're the worst for cup holders.
No, they're all good now. They're all good now.
He's not just the oldest. It says he's not just the oldest. He's the final boss of this sibling saga. All knowing, all calculating, and definitely always rounding up when it comes to how far he hit that last drive.
It's pretty good. Now I can hear some of the leading prompts that you might add.
And that's the thing is I didn't say what to roast on. I just gave it like
all of your personal information.
Yeah. Social Security was on there. That was kind of weird.
Did you get my data from Coinbase?
I may have only had to pay like 3 or 4 XRP for it.
He only had to pay 3 camels for it, so he's good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty good.
He just took your credit report and dumped it into Chat GPT.
That's not too shabby right there.
I thought it was pretty clever.
That's pretty good.
A lot
That's
of it was
pretty good.
clever. My favorite's Jamie's, but we'll save that one for a little bit later. We're going to do Robbie's next.
Okay.
All right. So, Chat GPT came back with, oh man, this roast practically writes itself.
I mean, you're not wrong.
This is a face of a man who still tells people he's just staying with mom for a bit to save money.
There's a prompt. All right.
Yeah.
There's a prompt.
Thanks.
But it's been 3 football seasons and half her pantry is stocked with his protein powder and Hot Pockets. Divorced car salesman? Of course he is. He's got the vibe of a guy who tells you this baby's a steal while ignoring the oil leak and emotional baggage. Rocking the Hawaiian shirt like it's Margaritaville, but holding a golf club like he's just got kicked out of Top Golf for trying to fist fight a 12-year-old over swing technique.
It's only happened twice. Only twice.
Air Force security forces, the only thing he's securing now is the last slice of pizza before anyone else gets to it. His whole look screams, I peaked in 2009 and didn't notice. He's not just the middle child, he's the middle-aged middle child clinging to the past like it's under factory warranty.
Man, it's really painting an Uncle Rico picture here.
I know, right?
I could throw this football over that mountain.
And I
ahead,
used
Jody.
her golf picture too there because I wanted some like
golf.
The pictures that
Continuity.
Well, no, because for mine and Jamie's I had other pictures to use that like showed who y'all are. So for Jamie's, I used the one at the Rangers ball game that I had.
With the sign?
No, this was the one that we did for my birthday where everybody showed up.
Okay.
Because I actually had a pretty good, clear picture, and to be fair, it was a good picture.
Okay.
All right, so for whatever reason, I think it knows that we like barbecue somehow, some way, because it made another barbecue reference that I did not input. All right, so let's light up your resident smart guy brother like a Texas barbecue. This man looks like he gives unsolicited TED Talks at family cookouts and ends them with, but what do I know? Even though he absolutely thinks he knows everything. And I didn't tell him the but what do I know part. I was like, holy crap!
No way.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That was ChatGPT's line, and it worked.
Yeah, that was funny.
That smirk, that's the face of a guy who just corrected your grammar in front of your kids and explained why brisket should never be smoked with mesquite.
I'm a big fan of mesquite.
But it should. And let me explain why mesquite is so great.
But what do I know?
But what do I know? National Guard and Air Force ? So he spent his military career fighting boredom in khakis and correcting people who confuse ranks with Star Wars titles.
That's not too far off.
Married a Tennessee girl, huh? Man just couldn't resist the call of country, charm, and casseroles. Meanwhile, he's probably out there using some spreadsheets to optimize diaper changes and explaining quantum physics during bedtime stories. Wearing a Ralph
That's
Lauren...
right on the nose.
Wearing a Ralph Lauren polo at a ballpark like he's about to give a lecture on baseball statistics instead of actually watching the game. He's the guy who'd bring a graphing calculator to a tailgate just in case.
I don't even know how to use a graphing calculator. Thank you very much.
Now, if that's your only disappointment in that whole thing, I think we're all
No,
right.
he doesn't. No, he doesn't need the graphic calculator.
Gotcha.
It's all up here.
It's all up here.
So I was trying to not give any leading stuff on these. I was just trying to give things that I knew about each of you, like as generic as possible, and that's what it came out with. I mean, yeah. So mine.
Okay.
Yeah. So
What's
mine.
yours?
Huh? All right. So here's mine. All right, buckle up, sailor. This roast is going full throttle. You look like a lumberjack who gave up chopping trees to homeschool his kids on conspiracy theories and beef jerky recipes. That beard's got more grays than your parenting patience, and it's long enough to have its own zip code or ex-wife. Twice married, 5 kids, living in a camper? Bro, you're not building a family tree, you're running a mobile forest. Your Navy pass trained you for tight quarters, but I don't think they meant 5 kids in a 200 square foot tin can. And those eyes, that's the 1,000-yard stare of a man who's seen combat and then tried potty training toddlers right after. You're basically a survivalist, just not by choice.
Nice. Those are pretty good.
I was thoroughly impressed. I knew because some of.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it was.
It's so good.
Give it a go sometime, man, just to kind of kill some time and play with the tweaks. But some of the other podcasters that did it, they were a lot more popular, and so they literally just plugged in their podcast and their names, and ChatGPT freaking put it out. I was like, I need to. We have to coach it because we're not on that level yet.
Yeah, I mean like 3 months.
Yeah.
Give it 3 months and we'll have it.
But it does ask you, so after I did mine, saying that I was the oldest, and then I think Jamie's, because your picture was next on my thing, said you were the youngest, and it's like, all right, tell me when it's time to go for the middle child before I even finished looking for Robbie's picture.
Wow.
It was spot on.
It's
Good
funny.
stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But who doesn't love just a good old fashioned roast?
I was impressed. So yeah. What are we transitioning to now?
I think that's it.
That is it. We got through that pretty quick tonight.
Yep. What's everybody been up to the last 2 weeks that we can talk about live?
I've been sick.
Sick.
That sounds like fun.
That's about it. I don't know, some sort of chesty cold thing. I'm on the back side of it. I slept a lot. It was good.
Sleep is good.
Then I gave it to my colleague. And
Sharing is caring.
Yep.
So.
I am looking forward to sleeping in my own bed tonight. I've been back home for my daughter's graduation, as you guys know, and been sleeping. Let's see, for 6 nights on my mom's guest bedroom, 3-day bed, as she calls it. This mattress is the worst freaking mattress I've ever slept on in my entire life. I'm like, Mom, what the heck is going on with this? She goes, well, I told the mattress guy, I said, I want it to be so uncomfortable that people don't stay in my house more than 3 days. I'm like, I'm your son. She's like, yeah.
And I have a finite amount of time here. Come on.
That's funny.
3 days.
I mean, everything hurts. I'm so ready to sleep in my own bed tonight. But we did have a nice family visit.
That's great.
Yep.
That's great.
Is it like the couch from Seinfeld?
No, I would take this couch from Seinfeld over this. It's like hard as a rock, and every time I move, it creaks and squeaks, and it's terrible.
It's just like that mattress you buy online. That's just like, wow, that's a great price on that.
I think she might have picked it up off the
Show up with a
corner.
purple mattress.
Well, I told her. I said, I'm not coming back unless you get a purple mattress, because that's what I sleep on there. Brought to you by Purple Mattress. It's the best mattress in the entire world. I've spent a lot of money on mattresses, and just this thing is awesome. So
the best mattress I've ever owned was a Nectar mattress, which is real similar to the purple mattress.
See, that's what we put in our room here. Is we put a Nectar in, and I absolutely loved it.
I had a hard time watching TV in bed once I got that Nectar mattress because I just lay down and just zonk out.
Yep.
That's good. You shouldn't watch TV in your bed anyway.
Yeah, but it's bad for shutting your brain down at night. So, Robbie, what have you been up to the last couple of weeks?
Just working. Got to hang out with my sister last week, not last weekend, the weekend before last.
Nice.
She came down here for Mother's Day, so we took Mom to brunch. And I think Jeannie, Chris, and I thought it was our Mother's Day because we went through 2 bottles of champagne like it was trying to go out of style on us. But it was. I mean, what can you say? It was a $20 bottle of champagne, for mimosas, and we thought that's a great deal. We should have 6 of them.
Nice.
We did not have 6 of them.
I mean, it's very respectable. 6 is good.
Yeah. I mean, they are leaning more towards the rookie numbers, but
I thought you guys were saying. I thought you were saying 2 bottles apiece.
No, it's two together. Yeah, we worked on that together. Then I took Mom to daycare in Durant after that. So.
Oh, did you guys go after Jeannie left?
Yeah. So we brought Jeannie back to the house so she can wrangle the dogs and head south, and then we headed north.
Okay. All right.
So other than work, that's really been about it. Just trying to get ready for this little trip we got coming up to Tennessee.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm excited.
You got a little.
We can talk about that here in a second offline. Oh yeah. You got to show your stash.
If there's any left, I see you got a bottle back there, Robin.
Yeah.
But this is their private selection single barrel.
Nice.
That I picked up at Costco for the same price as the regular bottle.
Is that
nice.
Is that the Costco in Nashville?
No, it was in Indy. But they may have it there. But I did finish off my stepdad's bottle of Blanton's that he snagged from Costco right where they got the shipment.
Nice. This actually here is an infused Angel's Envy. I infused it myself. It's
with Dr. Pepper.
With Fredericksburg peaches, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
this is very tasty. Very smooth. So.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Angel's Envy.
Jody, what about you? What did you do the last couple weeks?
We did some stuff for Mother's Day, and then actually, funny, we actually went to the Jumbo Shrimps ball game on Mother's Day.
Nice, yeah.
That was Kim's choice, of course. That's exactly what she wanted to do. She was not happy to be anywhere else.
Nice.
Well, she agreed to it, so we did it. But it was a fun game. We all had a blast, and then pretty much just enjoying the weather right now. It finally stopped raining.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, we had so much rain dumped on us here. It's nice to have a break, and temperatures are warming up quite nicely. So it's been good.
Yeah, we've had some rough weather here lately.
Oh yeah.
We've had some really active, if you're a weather nerd, this has been, the last week and a half has been your week in North Texas. I mean,
I miss it.
It looked like we could potentially, the stuff that happened in St. Louis and stuff like that, this was supposed to, thank God it wasn't, but this was supposed to be one of the biggest, most active seasons. And it didn't pan out, which is great. I think we only had a handful of tornadoes through the last week and a half, so that was That was good. Most people that don't live in like a tornado area, you say, "Oh, we've only had a few tornadoes." They're like, "What?" It's like saying, "No, we only had a few hurricanes this year." You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I mean, you watch the movie Twisters and all the storm talk when they're talking about this, that, and the other. You're just sitting there going, "Yeah, this is real life." Like, you know, where I mean, just it was perfect storm that didn't happen. So that was good news. So.
Yeah, and not so lucky for St. Louis though.
They got hammered.
Nasty. We actually had a tornado here before I went up north, which is unusual, right? Hurricanes, but I'm like, we shouldn't have both. Like,
yeah, that's not fair.
It's one or the other, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, but look at Louisiana. Louisiana gets hit every year by tornadoes and hurricanes. Yeah, so yeah. Well, that's all that we have for today. Jody, you want to go ahead and reel that beautiful bean footage?
Yep, I got you. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Bro Time, and we'll see you next time. Episode.
That episode. All right, I stopped the recording.